all, this is Once a Future Gamer and we're back for another Pokemon challenge. Last time we took on Pokemon Fire Red with a single Poochyena, a challenge which resulted in some truly brutal late game action. Today though, we're doing something very different indeed, as we answer the question of whether or not we can beat Pokemon Unova Red with the elemental monkey trio, Pansage, Pansear and Panpour. Now, Unova Red is a ROM hack of Pokemon Red with only Unova Pokemon in, as you might be able to guess from the title. Other than that, I know little about it. I saw a wiki about the move somewhere on the internet, but I'm going in quite blind with this. I'm not using that wiki, put it that way. Just the rules then. The monkeys can all be caught in Viridian Forest. I can't use the UPR with this, I tried, so until I catch those monkeys, I can use my starter. But once the first monkey has been caught, I cannot use any other Pokemon in combat. I will need other Pokemon for HMs, but none of them will be able to fight. No items in battle beyond Pokeballs, but I can heal outside of battle, and last of all, no glitches or exploits. It doesn't really matter which starter I choose, but Bulbasaur, Charmander and Squirtle have all been replaced by the Unova starters. It'll only really affect what my rival has going forward. I pick Oshawott, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. Most of the challenge here will come from me knowing very little about the game and what Pokemon to expect from what trainers and some such. We can't really do anything until Viridian Forest, so I skim ahead to it and start exploring. I very quickly catch Panpour and nickname it Aqua. I encounter a Pansear, but I'm weak after a fight with a Sewaddle and it knocks me out before I can catch it, breaking out of a few Pokeballs. I eventually catch a Pansear and nickname it Lava. Just need Pansage now and we're ready to start properly. I eventually do catch that Pansage and nickname it Terra. I lost the rival fight in Oak's lab, so I level my Pokemon up to about level 10 and then go get some Retribution on Route 22. I start with Aqua vs P-Dove and knock it out with 3 water guns. Interesting fact, it appears that Gus is a flying type move in this game and not normal as it is in Gen 1. I send Lava to face Snivy and knock it out with 2 Ember attacks. Next is Brock. I start with Terra versus Roggenrola and 2 hit it with Vine Whip, taking a headbutt in exchange. Archon is the second Pokemon and I realise with a sort of numb horror that it's probably really good in this game with no abilities because no defeatist. I switch into Aqua and it outspeeds to land a crit peck that leaves me on 5 HP. I land Water Gun for a third of its health and prepare to wipe. Thankfully it only uses Leer for the rest of the fight, so I get the chance to knock it out with 2 more Water Guns. Okay then, cheers Brock for that strategy. Moving on. Is there a fossil in Mount Moon? Yes, there is. In case you were wondering, I took the Plume fossil. In Cerulean City, I go see if I can beat Misty. My Pansage at level 19, the other 2 at level 18. Probably can't win this, but I guess it'll give me a good idea what to expect. Terra faces off against Basculin, landing 3 Vine Whips to knock it out and getting hit with Bite in exchange, as well as Misty using an X-Defend. Her ace is Simipour, and I managed to land 3 Vine Whips again to knock it out as it goes for Leer and Scratch, leaving Pansage on red health with 5 HP left. Still, a win is a win, so I take the badge and go. I teach Aqua Bubble Beam and make an effort on the rival on Nugget Bridge. He starts with Tranquil and I go for Aqua, using that new Bubble Beam to take it out in 3 hits. He lands 2 quick attacks in exchange. Zorua is next and gets 2 hit with Bubble Beam. I bring out Lava to face Patrat and get Sand Attack twice, missing a stack of moves throughout this round of the fight, but eventually taking it out with 2 Embers and a Scratch. With Lava crippled by Sand, I bring Terror in to face Snivy and knock it out with some Bite attacks, getting a fortunate flinch in there too. Lava learns Amnesia, which is really broken in Gen 1 mechanics, being the equivalent of using Calm Mind twice in a single turn. That will be handy. Anyway, SSM rival fight next, and I begin with the said Pansear. I Amnesia twice versus Tranquil, taking 2 quick attacks before I go on a scorching spree, taking out Tranquil with Ember, then Watchog with Ember, then Zorua with Ember, and finally Servine. Guess what? Ember. Like I said, broken. Special attack and special defense were combined into a single stat in Gen 1, so we hit harder and take less damage from it. Now that we've got the HM for cut, Lieutenant Surge seems an appropriate next fight. He starts with Joltik and I go with Lava. I get 2 Amnesia attacks off to boost our special, while he goes for X-Speed and Screech. I one-hit Joltik with Ember, and then do the same to Emolga when that comes out as his second Pokemon. When Zeb Striker comes out, how messed up does Zeb Striker's legs look on this, by the way, particularly that curled front one. It lands a quick attack, but I hit 2 Embers to take it out. In Lavender Town, I stop by Pokemon Tower and go for the rival fight. I start with Aqua and he goes with Tranquil. I take it out with 2 Bubble Beams while it lands a Leer. Darumaka is next and I keep Aqua in to take it down with Bubble Beam. Next is Tortuga and I go for Terra, who one-hits it with Vine Whip. Next is Zoroark and I bring in Lava and Amnesia twice while it lands a pair of scratches. When I hit Ember, it does deal most of its health in damage. Rod uses a potion and I finish it with Ember before finally it's Servine and it goes down to the same move. In Celadon City, I have the choice between Rocket Hideout and Celadon Gym. I figure Rocket Hideout first. I face off against Giovanni with Terra up top. Drillbur goes down to Vine Whip and Krokorok goes the same way. His last Pokemon, however, is Bouffalante. I have to play this differently. I Leech Seed it. It lands a devastating Head Charge which deals huge damage to Terra. I use Dig a few times to evade its attack and restore health. It tries a few Horn attacks and eventually I take it out with Vine Whip. I might as well try Erica while I'm here in this city, so it's Lava time. She starts with Levani and only goes for Harden, so I use Amnesia 3 times and then go on a one-shot sweep. I take Levani out with Ember, then Simisage goes down, same way, same move. Finally, Lilligant goes down to Ember. That was easier than it probably could have been. Let's move on. With my Pokemon all in the mid-40s range level-wise and having fought every trainer on both roads to Future City and every Rocket Grunt in Sylph, I have a choice and I go for the rival fight. I start with Aqua, who faces off against Unpheasant. Ice Beam hits it for big damage and it lands Growl in exchange before I finish it. Darumaka goes down to Surf before Tortuga goes down to Giga Drain from Terra. I leave Terra out versus Zoroark and Leech Seed it. I switch into Lava to start Amnesia attacks, but Lava gets knocked out quickly. So I bring in Aqua again to fight it with Surf attacks. Finally is Serperior, and I leave Aqua out to strike at it with Ice Beam. It's a close fight as Panpour gets hit with Leech Seed and Mega Drain, but the telling moment is when Rod uses a potion rather than going for the kill, and we win the fight. I might as well do Giovanni while I'm here, and I lead with Aqua. Krokorok goes down to Surf. His next choice is Palpitoad, and I switch into Terra to take it down with Giga Drain. Bouffalante is next. I Leech Seed it, and then proceed to land Dig and Giga Drain attacks to take it out, though it is a grueling fight. Excadrill is last, and I summon Aqua back out to take it out with a pair of Surf attacks, though we do get struck by Dig in the fray. So then, Koga or Sabrina. I might make an attempt on Sabrina while we're here. Both Aqua and Lava, no crunch, so that might be useful. Let's see how we get on. It's not tricky. I start with Lava and use Amnesia 3 times, basically meaning that we can hit harder with Ember and take psychic attacks pretty well. First is Mashana, and we eventually take it out with Crunch and Ember after powering up. It takes a while though. Next is Sigilif, and it goes down to Crunch and Ember. Next is Reuniclus, who again survives Crunch before using Recover. We did get the defense drop though, and the second Crunch leaves it on the brink before we finish it off with the third attack. Finally is Gothitelle, and Sabrina basically has the same team as Caitlyn has in Gem 5. We land Ember and burn it before taking it out with a second fire attack. Koga then! I start with Lava again because Amnesia is a pretty good strategy. 3 turns to power up and then sweep. That's my plan. First is Whirlipede, and I go for 3 Amnesia attacks while it uses Agility and an X attack before hitting a weak Acid. I one-hit Whirlipede with Ember and then do the same to Amoonguss. Garbodor survives Ember and lands Sludge, which poisons us, but we finish it with a second Ember before Scolipede comes out, and though it is fast enough to land an attack, we do take it out with Ember when we do hit it. Fire Trainer Blaine is next, and it's Aqua's time to shine. Simisear goes down to a single Surf, and Heatmore is next. That does survive Surf though and lands Slash in retaliation. I hit it with Crunch to take it out. Darmanitan is next with its Creepy Grin, and it goes down to a single Surf. Last is Volcarona, and that is potentially terrifying. Surf doesn't do much to it, relatively speaking, and Blaine heals it with a Super Potion. I put it down to nearly fainting range with a second Surf, and it lands Bug Bite before a third Surf finishes it. Whew, 7 badges down. Last gym leader is Giovanni once again. I might as well keep on using Aqua then. This is a closer fight than you might think. Normally, he's a joke. First is Krokorok versus Aqua, and Panpour knocks it out with Surf. Next is Stunfisk, and it survives Surf and lands Thunderbolt for massive damage as well as paralysis, though we do manage to take it out with the second Surf. Excadrill is third, and it knocks us out with Dig. I go into Lava and start to land Ember attacks. It goes underground, we use Amnesia to power up, and it hits us for massive damage. I misclick, and instead of doing for the Ember that would finish it, I use Amnesia once again, and it takes us out with Dig. Terra does come in and finish it with Giga Drain. Next is Seismitoad. That's fortunate, Terra 1 hits it with Giga Drain. Last is Crocodile, and the first Giga Drain deals big damage before it hits Crunch. The second Giga Drain finishes it. That's all the badges, let's head to the league. Before we can get to the league though, Rod wants to fight again, and this one is close. Aqua takes down Unpheasant with 2 Ice Beams. It only tries to use Sky Attack in exchange. When Clang comes out, I go into Lava and manage to get 2 Amnesias off while it uses Supersonic and powers itself up with Shift Gear. When Confusion eventually fades, I knock it out with Ember. I hit Darumaka with Crunch, it lands Thrash before Lava takes it out with a second Crunch. Versus Caracosta, I keep Lava out and go for Solar Beam. Thanks to the special buff, we survive Waterfall and Solar Beam takes it out. Versus Zoroark, 2 Embers are enough. Finally, is Superior, and it does something I've never ever seen in a Pokemon game before. It knocks Lava out with Slam. Terra comes out next, and I hit it with several body slams to try and get paralysis with the move. It retaliates with slam attacks. Each and every single one of them lands without fail, 5 or 6 in a row. I call cheating on that personally. Eventually, Terra goes down. Aqua comes out and gets hit by Mega Drain but survives before landing Ice Beam. Superior survives it very narrowly and lands Giga Drain to finish Aqua off. Okay, we might need to grind somewhere to do this. Terra and Aqua both hit level 54 during grinding, so this seems as good a time as any to make another crack. This time I play it smarter. Unfezant lands Quick Attack on Aqua before being hit with 2 Ice Beams for defeat. Lava's fight with Plango is very similar. Amnesia versus Supersonic before Lava hits himself in confusion and lands a second Amnesia while it goes to the Shift Gear and gets taken out by Ember. I go into Aqua for Darumaka to avoid taking heavy damage and one hits it with Surf. Terra comes out to face Caracosta and one hits it with Giga Drain before staying out versus Zoroark. Terra does make a valiant effort but ultimately goes down to a barrage of Night Days attacks, but we do manage to Leech Seed it and paralyse it with Body Slam. Lava comes back out and I start going for Amnesia, all while Leech Seed saps its health and takes it down. Zoroark did land Screech though, so our defence is down, but when Superior comes out and lands Slam, we survive and one hit it with Ember. I really wish that there was a TM for Flamethrower in this game, but the alternative for Ember is Fire Blast. No thanks. Anyway, let's move on. When we reach the Indigo Plateau, my 3 monkeys are about the mid-50s level-wise, Terra and Aqua at level 56, Lava at level 55. I don't think we can win at this level. Their evolved forms maybe could, but that's not the challenge now, is it? I foresee many retries here. It might be one of those where I have to level up on the Elite Four over and over until we're strong enough. Let's give this a try though and see how we do. Lorelei is first. I have an idea what to expect, but no way of knowing for sure until I hit the challenge. Well, this isn't at all what I do expect. Vanillish is first. I figure it can't really hurt me and go for Amnesia with Lava. It goes for Acid Armour. I Amnesia again. It goes for Acid Armour again. I Amnesia a third time to buff our special to the max and it hits a weak Confusion before going down to Ember. Next is Cryogonal and it goes down to Ember. Next is Alomalola, and I'm not resetting my Amnesia, so I leave Lava out and call for Solar Beam. It hits us with Hydro Pump, but it really does do laughable damage thanks to our buff stats, and Solar Beam takes it out. Next is Beartic, who goes down to Ember. And finally, Vanillux goes the same way. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Let's see what Bruno has for us. I put Terra up top and face off against him. His team is scarier here than it is in regular Kanto runs. He starts with Scrafty and Terra trades blows with it, landing a body slam to paralyse it at first before hitting it with Digs and Giga Drains to eventually take it out. This is an attritional fight. Throw comes out next and Terra does eventually manage to take it out but has very little HP left come the end of it, having landed more body slam and Giga Drain attacks. Aqua comes out to face Sork and eventually takes it out, 2 hitting it with Surf. It only lands Ice Punch in exchange. Aqua continues versus Mienshao and eventually gets hit with Swift before landing Surf and Ice Beam attacks. Mienshao misses High Jump Kick but lands the second one to knock us out. Lava comes out and I don't have a chance to set up, getting hit with Swift as I have to 2-hit it with Ember. Finally it's Conkeldurr and we have no chance as Lava lands Ember for minimal damage. Submission takes Pansear out. Terra comes back out and lands Giga Drain for health recovery, but it's to no avail as it beats Pansage down with Thrash and we lose. Back to the grinding board then. Eventually I get a run versus Bruno where I start with Lava and manage to get 3 Amnesias off before landing Ember. Throw takes Lava out with Double Edge, but not before having big damage inflicted on it. Aqua comes in and takes out with Surf. Surf is the move which hits Sork. Bruno chooses to use an X-Defend and probably gets taken out by another Surf. Mienshao is next and I continue to hammer away with Surf until Aqua goes down. Terra is my last option. Mienshao misses Jump Kick and I hit Giga Drain before it lands Dizzy Punch. A second Giga Drain takes it out. 3 Giga Drains and a Body Slam take Conkeldurr out as it only lands an Earthquake in anger. Agatha is my next opponent. She starts with Lampent and I go with Lava, landing Crunch. She takes out for Cofagrigus, who lands Glare and starts spamming Minimise. I take the chance to build up Amnesia. Not easy since it knows Confuse Ray 2. It takes a very long time to bring it down, but eventually a Lucky Ember does do the job, even after she heals it. Lampent is taken out by Crunch. Jellicent is next and it goes down to 2 Crunchers. She heals it in between with a Super Potion. Golurt lands Stomp and survives Ember, though we burn it and survive the low kick with 6 HP before taking it out with a second Ember. For Chandelure, I bring in Aqua and knock it out with 2 Surf attacks, although I do get hit with Flamethrower in exchange. Lance does take a few tries, but eventually get a successful run. Aqua 1-hits Fracture with Ice Beam. Archeops is a huge issue. It hits like a trade, missing Rock Slide on Aqua and being blasted with Ice Beam for minimal damage. Rock Slide does over 100 points of health before he finishes it off with Surf. Druddigon is next and it gets hit with Ice Beam before landing Night Slash to leave Aqua on 7 HP. We finish it with a second Ice Beam. Next is Haxorus. We hit it with Ice Beam and it counters with a Hyper Beam for the knockout. A little unnecessary in my opinion. Lava comes out and I go for Amnesia 3 times. It goes for Swords Dance and Dragon Claw, also failing with Guillotine. A powered up Ember does take it out though. Last is Hydreigon, and although our Ember doesn't do much, we do burn it on the first turn. Hyper Beam does minimal damage thanks to the burn, and by the time it can attack with a weak Dragon Claw, it's almost all over, but for another Ember. That's the Elite Four done. Last is a champion fight with our rival. He begins with Unpheasant and I go for Aqua. I get hit with Quick Attack but land 2 Ice Beams. Zoroark comes out and I land 2 Surfs before he heals it. I start whittling him down again before he lands Screech and Night Daze, taking Aqua out. Lava comes out and I go for Amnesia as I get hit with Night Daze and Screech. Ember takes Kling Clang out before Darmanitan comes out. I go into Terra and start hammering away with Dig Attacks, despite getting tagged with Submission and Mega Punch. Terra takes out Darmanitan before then one-hitting Caracosta with Giga Drain. Last is Serperior, and I begin to hammer Body Slams as it lands weak Grass Attacks in exchange. I get Paralysis on it, and it's just a case of when, not if, as Terra ultimately floors the final Pokemon and we enter the Hall of Flame. That was really, really fun. I mean it. First time I've ever done anything like this with a ROM hack. Join me next time as I see if I can beat Pokemon Fire Red with a single Meditite. We're back to mainstream Pokemon games. That one could be interesting. So I mean, if you have got any suggestions for future challenges, then don't forget to holler out with them. There's a comment section below on my Twitter page. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. It keeps the world on going round and round. We're almost out of time now, so all that I guess I can say is that this has been Once a Future Gamer, and so thank you very, very much for joining me on this trek through Pokemon Unova Red. Take care now, have a great day, stay safe.